In this section, we are trying to factorize the polynomial, right? We are trying to rewrite our polynomial in a product form. Yesterday, we did use FOIL method and AC method. So let me take an example, one more example. So here we have x squared negative 8x plus 16. So this is the trinomial in a quadratic form, and we have to factorize this. We have to rewrite this trinomial in a product form. Okay, the very first step of factorization is looking for the common factor in each term. Now, do we have any common factor in each term? We have three terms, right? So we have x squared first term, we have negative x, and we have positive 16. So we have these three terms, and every time if you are asked to factorize, you have to look for a common factor in each term. Do we have that common factor other than 1 or negative 1? We do not have, right? So we can skip first step. Now second step is that we count number of terms. We already know we have three terms, and if we have three terms and are in a quadratic form, we use two methods. So one method is using FOIL, and we use FOIL if the coefficient of a square term is 1, and we use AC method if the coefficient of a square term is other than 1. In our case, coefficient of a square term is 1, right? So we will be using FOIL method. So here, to factorize this trinomial, we use FOIL method. Okay, so we will get a 2 factor. Now the very first thing, we find the first term. Okay, we find the first term whose product is x squared. Can you tell me the first term whose product is x squared? It has to be x and x, right? So x times x, which is x squared. So the first term is x and x. Once we multiply these two first term, we get x squared. That's what we have here. Now the next step is we need to find two number. Let me call those two number p and q. Okay, we don't know what are these two number. We need to find these two number whose product is constant. So it means p times q. When you multiply those two number, the product has to be equals to 16. And the sum of these two number has to be equals to coefficient of x, which is negative 8. Now, can you think of a two number whose product is positive 16 and sum is negative 8? Negative 4 and negative 4, right? Negative 4 times negative 4, that is positive 16. Negative 4 plus negative 4, that is negative 8. So your p and q are negative 4, negative 4. So negative 4, negative 4. So this is how we can factorize the trinomial in a quadratic form if the coefficient of each square term is 1. Okay, any question on this one? Now let me take a trinomial in a quadratic form with a coefficient other than 1. So let me take one more example. So we have, let's say we have two x squared minus x minus 1. So this is trinomial and it is also in quadratic form. Okay, at the very first step, we look for the common factor. Do we have any common factor in each term? No, so we skip that. Now we go to our next step. Since the coefficient of a square term is not 1, we will use AC method. Okay, so for this one we use AC method. And in this method, so our coefficient of x squared, that is a. So this is a. Okay, a is 2. Our b is the coefficient of x, so which is negative 1. So this is b, and the constant is c. At first we multiply AC. So our A is 2 and C is, it's okay if you take negative 1 or positive 1, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so we have 2. You multiply A and C. Now the next step, we write down every pair of factor of 2. Now what is a pair of number whose product is equals to 2? You give me a pair of number whose product is 2. 2 and 1. Do we have any other? No, right? So we have only this pair. Now we will use this pair to rewrite negative 1 either by adding these two numbers or subtracting. Now how can we rewrite negative x by using 1 and 2, please? So negative x is equals to x minus 2x, right? So we have to rewrite. So using this pair of factor, we have to rewrite our middle term. So here we have 2x square now let me use these two numbers to rewrite negative 1x. So to be negative 1x, our 2 has to be negative. So this is positive 1x minus 2x. Or you can write minus 2x plus 1, it's still same, minus 1. Any question on this step? You are using that number 1 and 2 to rewrite your middle term negative x. Okay, so here negative x is same as positive 1x minus 2x. Okay, these two are the same thing, so we are rewriting. Now here we have 4 terms, and if we have a 4 terms, we make a pair to factorize. So let's make a pair of first 2 term and the last 2 terms. In the first 2 term, what do we have as a common factor? X, not a 2, only x. So we are taking first 2 terms. Okay, in the first 2 terms we have x as a common factor. So let's factor out x. Now you divide 2x squared by this common factor x. 2x squared divided by x is 2x. Now you divide positive 1x by x. Positive 1x divided by x is positive 1. Now in the similar way, in the last 2 terms, what do we have as a common factor? We have a negative in front, so let's factor out negative 1. So negative 1 is common. Okay, now you divide each of these terms by negative 1. Negative 2x divided by negative 1 is positive 2x. In the similar way, you divide negative 1 by this common factor negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1. Now here we have 2 expressions. So this is the first expression and this is the second expression. And in these 2 expressions, what do we have as a common? 2x plus 1 is common. So let's factor out 2x plus 1. Make sure you have the parenthesis. And in the other parenthesis, you write down the remaining terms. So we have x minus 1, and these are the factors for our polynomial 2x squared minus x minus 1. We had a trinomial, okay, and we rewrite this trinomial as a product of 2 polynomial, as a product of 2x plus 1 and x minus 1, and this is factorization. Okay, you are rewriting polynomial in a product form. Okay, any question? Again, I do have a worksheet for this R.5 and R.6. We will start once we complete next section. Okay, so the next here, let's do few more examples. So we have x cubed plus 27. Let's factorize. The very first step is looking for the common factor in each term, and we don't have, right? We do not have any common factor in each term. Now, if we do not have any common factor, we count number of terms. How many terms we have? 2 terms. Okay, so we have x cubed and positive 27. And if we have a 2 terms, there will be a 3 cases. Now, is your 2 term difference of square term? Is the 2 term sum of cube terms? Is your 2 terms difference of 2 cube terms? Now, what do you think? So what do we have here? Do we have a 2 terms which is a difference of square or a sum of cube or difference of cube? So we have x cube, right? So x cube, since we already have x cube, so we can exclude this one, and we have a positive. in between two terms, so you can exclude this. So the only option we have is sum of cube. Now let's rewrite this binomial as a sum of cube. So we have x cube as it is. Now what about 27? Is there any way we can rewrite 27 as a cube of some number? 3 cube. So 27 is 3 cube. Okay. Now you compare this with your a cube plus b cube. Now if you compare, for a, what do we have? X, right? For b, what do we have? 3. Now once you have your a as a x and b as a 3, you substitute in this formula, okay, and this will be given to you. You don't need to memorize that. It will be provided to your on your exam, okay. So this is now a plus b. Our a is x, x plus our b is 3. So x plus 3 times a square. Our a is x, so x is square, minus ab. Our a is x, our a is x, b is 3, okay. A minus a times b, x times 3, that is 3x, plus b square. Our b is 3 and 3 square is 9. And this is the factor for this binomial. Any question? Now in the similar way we have number b, and in number b we have the binomial. Okay, now do we have any common factor on both of the terms? We do not have any common, right? Now the next, is this the difference of a square or a difference of cube or a sum of cube? What do you think? Difference of cube. Now we have to rewrite as a difference of cube, okay? Now we have 27x cube. Now we have to rewrite 27x cube as a cube of some expression. So cube of what expression is equals to 27x cube?
3x minus 4.
So that's your final answer. But before that, so 27 is a cube of 3, right? Yep. And x cube is a cube of x. So cube of 3x is 27x cube. Do you all agree? So you have to rewrite as a cube at first, okay? So 27 is a cube of 3 and x cube is a cube of x. So cube of 3x is 27x cube. Then we have minus. Now what about 64? Cube of what number is 64? 4. Okay, you can use your calculator. So cube of 4 is 64. Now you compare this with a cube minus b cube. Now from this comparison, what do you have for a? So what is your a? 3x, whatever you have in this parenthesis, okay? So a is 3x, and what is our b? 4. Now you substitute a equals to 3x and b equals to 4 in this formula, okay? So we have a minus b. Our a is 3x minus b. b is 4 times a square. Our a is 3x. Now what is the square of 3x? 9. And you have to square x as well. 9x square. So we have 9x squared plus a times b. Our a is 3x, b is 4. 3x times 4 is 12x. Okay, do not forget x. Okay. Plus b square. Our b is 4 and square of 4 is 16. And bless you. This is our final answer. So this is the factor for our binomial.